You can't do that, ma'am.
I can. I
You're
have.
you're violating your oath of office without any authority, and I have the sheriffs here that can make a citizen arrest to any judge that violates their oath of office. You're violating your oath of office. You do not have jurisdiction. The Constitution says so at Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2.
Kathy McKay has been trying to sell her house for 3 years.
I say it's move-in ready, technically.
But McKay can't sell because she's the victim of fraud. A fake lien, a lien her neighbor filed claiming he actually owns the house.
This has been a nightmare.
This does keep me up at night.
As soon as Platte County Recorder Christopher Wright learned about the latest fake lien, he had it invalidated and reported the man who filed it to the Platte County Sheriff's Department. Platte County's prosecutor charged Gary Michael Peloza with felony fraud for filing false documents.
All right, thank you. Mr. Baca, you had an announcement?
Your Honor, after admission of the certified driving record, the state would rest at this time.
Very well. Now, Mr. Peloza, if you want to present any evidence on your own behalf, this is the time to do that. You can call yourself as a witness. You don't have to. Your silence will not be used as evidence of guilt against you. If you do choose to testify, Mr. Baca would have the right to cross-examine you, just as you've had with his witnesses. So at this time, sir, do you have any evidence you want to present?
I have no evidence available to me right now since I'm held against my will in a place I can't get evidence from. So,
You mean you're in the Butler County Detention Facility?
yes, I am.
And you have Mr. Patterson as standby counsel. Did you want Mr. Patterson to participate at this time?
I didn't appoint him standby counsel, and I don't know. He's an interloper, and I don't want him even to be involved in my case. I can't get him off of my case because I'm exercising my Sixth Amendment right, and I don't know who has authority to give someone an attorney when they don't want one. And I don't see any authority on who can do that, but it seems like he's stuck to me somehow, and I don't want him stuck to me somehow. I don't want him as backup counsel. He's not doing anything. I know he's there to represent the trust, but that's another issue.
All right. Then please proceed, or are you resting?
I want to call the state of Kansas to the stand. I get a right to cross-examine my accuser. And I want them to show me a photo ID with driver's license or whatever, state of Kansas clearly printed on it, current street address.
All right, sir, do you have a person with a body that you can call to represent the state of Kansas? Sergeant Akers, perhaps?
Well, you can't represent the state of Kansas without presenting Kansas first. To represent something has to be presented in the first time.
Well, sir, it is your duty, if you're representing yourself,
Right.
to call your witnesses. If your witnesses won't appear voluntarily, it's your duty to subpoena them. You didn't want Mr. Patterson to subpoena anyone for you or have any witnesses ready. So
But the plaintiff should be in the court, though, or in this hearing. The plaintiff should be here.
sir, you can either call your witnesses or rest. It's up to you.
I want to testify.
Well, the state didn't call anybody that you wanted to testify. If you want to call witnesses, call them now.
I would like to testify myself.
Very well. Please raise your right hand. I thought you just did, though.
Did I raise my right hand and swear in?
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Continue.
Okay, I'm going to testify by doing an oration.
All right. You're Gary Michael Peloza, the defendant herein. Is that correct?
Yes, I do represent as the beneficiary, the defendant, but I have a right to testify for the trust. Since I'm the beneficiary of that trust. On the day of question, Officer Akers did not pull me over, did not put lights on, and I was walking into the quick shop on 114 Highway 54 because my car was having problems. That's why I had transmission problems. It was heating up and I was going in the store for water. He said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I said, what do you want to talk about? He says, well, the condition of your car. I said, what about the condition of my car? He said, well, I ran your plates and nothing came back. And that was very curious to me. I said, what do you mean nothing came back? It just got registered yesterday. And we went around. I says, I don't own the car. It belongs to Heirloom Trust, and I've got the trustee. I'll call him up. And he talked to the trustee, and the trustee sent him evidence that the car was just registered the day before. So there is no way that it could have been recalled or said invalid or anything like that. It is still valid in Missouri. And if anybody wants to check, they can call up Missouri and find out that that is a valid license plate that was issued by the state of Missouri. So I don't know where he's coming up with his testimony saying that it came back valid, because he told me specifically that nothing came back on the screen, not that it came back canceled or void. That's impossible. I said, where do you think I got the plate from? I went into DMV and stole the plate and stole the sticker on there. It was a brand new plate with a brand new sticker. And the trustee just sent him on his phone uh, evidence of the registration of it the day before. So I don't understand Sergeant Akers' testimony, because Sergeant Akers is not telling the truth. I was walking into the store, and he just did a fishing exposition because it was packed down, because I was moving from Missouri to Kansas, and it had a lot of stuff in it. He asked me if there's methamphetamine in the car. I said, there's no methamphetamine in the car. So he said, well, I'm going to run a dog around your car. I said, you don't have consent. He was on a fishing expedition, and he found marijuana. He was looking for meth because he told me he was looking for meth. I have no idea where he found the syringes from. I don't believe there was any syringes in the car, because I don't use syringes. He found a lot of bottles of supplements because I'm a health nut. I did tell him about the marijuana being purchased legally in Missouri, and I use it for sleeping. I just happened to bring it over with me in the car, and I told him it was purchased legally in Missouri. So his testimony does not jive with what was said at the location. And I don't know why he would go and misrepresent what was actually said and done at that time. When he asked me my name, I said, I am Gary Michael, but I go by Garrison. I said, I use Garrison Michael, but my name is Gary Michael. I don't use my family name. So I just use my given name, which is Gary Michael, and my family's name is Peloza. It doesn't belong to me. So when he asked me what my name is, my given name is Gary Michael, and I go by Garrison. And I use Garrison Michael and without the family name. So there was no intent to deceive him, because I told him why. And when he asked me for a social security number, I said, I don't have a number. It's not my number. If you look on the back of the social security card, it says this is property of the Social Security Administration. So it cannot be my property to say I have or I own a social security card. It is the Social Security Administration's card, and that's evidence on everybody's social security card. If they turn around and turn it to the back and read it, it does not belong to me. So it's not my card, and I can't testify. I was not trying to be deceptive. I was just being factual. And for him saying that, I told him the whole purpose of me not using the family name. I preferred my given name, and I used the name Garrison because I like the full name Garrison instead of Gary. I said my name is Gary Michael, but I go by Garrison Michael. So that's not fake. That's not false. That's my name. It's my given name. I gave it to myself, and my family gave me Gary, but I prefer Garrison. So I have tons of documentation. I've been using it for over 30 years, and he found documentation with Garrison Michael on it that proves that what I'm saying is true. I use that name. I have an alias, if you want to call it an alias, but I wasn't being deceptive. He found evidence that I do use that name with correspondence and legal documents that he found in my car. So I wasn't trying to be deceptive there. Uh, I don't understand why he was so permissive in trying to think. I was told by listening to the other officers there that Missouri was a methamphetamine state, so he assumed that I must have had methamphetamine because my car was loaded down. That's the only thing I can assume for his reasoning of that. I did admit to purchasing marijuana legally in Missouri, and through the sister clause, I thought I would be able to use marijuana in the state of Kansas because I have obtained it legally in the state of Missouri. If I'm wrong in that, I'm sorry. I had no mens rea. I had no intent to do that because I am a health nut, but I have sleeping problems and I have headaches, and that I use it for medicinal purposes. So I wasn't trying to be deceptive, but that's the occurrence of that discussion, and I was not stopped or pulled over. I was already parked, and I was walking into a store when I was approached and asked questions about my automobile. I was trying to be as truthful as I can with the facts that I represent, and I wasn't trying to deceive. I told him honestly, I bought it in Missouri. So that explains the marijuana. And my name thing, the fact that the registration, when I told I got the trustee that I got a ticket for not having registered plates, he got very angry and he sent the prosecutor and Mr. Patterson copies of the registration of that car. So I don't know. I know Mr. Baca
Who are you
wasn't the
talking
one.
about?
Say what?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the trustee of the car. The car is registered to a trust, Heirloom Trust. The trustee had sent copies of the registration to Mr. Patterson and to the attorney's office, the prosecuting attorney's office. I don't know exactly who he sent it to, but the office had got copies of that registration to show that the car was properly registered. So I don't know where this car hasn't been legally registered. If you call Missouri up, you'll see that the car is properly registered in the state of Missouri, and you would think that you'd be able to use the car that was registered legally in one state throughout the whole United States. I don't know why. Mr. Akers said that it didn't come up on his screen, but that registration, that plate is current and it's valid. So I don't know where the accusation of he has no evidence to show that it was canceled or any. He's just saying stuff. He's misrepresented of our dialogue and misrepresented my name. So I don't know why he's doing that, but it's done, and he has no evidence of any field test on even on the marijuana, even though I'm admitting that I had marijuana. There's no evidence, and he got caught in stuff, and he changes his testimony. So I just want to make that as a fact here, and I'm done talking.
Okay, thank you. All right, at this time, I am going to render my decision on these counts. So you both have had a chance to talk and to present your evidence. Now it's my turn, Mr. Pelosa, to talk. And I would tell you, as I would anyone else, it's too late for evidence. You've told me you've got all your evidence in, so don't interrupt, please. We'll go through the charges. Count 1 accuses you of interference with a law enforcement officer, alleging that you, on January 21st, 2026, in Butler County, falsely reported to a law enforcement officer, a law enforcement agency, or state investigative agency any information knowing that such information is false and intending to influence, impede, or obstruct such officers or agency's duty in violation of KSA 215904, subsections, etc., interferes with law enforcement officer. Well, the evidence is clear from both sides that when the officer asked for identification, he was given a name other than the legal name of the defendant, Gary Michael Peloza. The defendant gave the name of Garrison Michael. Garrison Michael, and he said, the defendant says, I am Garrison Michael. I go by Gary Michael, but I don't use my family's name. Peloza is my family name. Well, that to me is a clear admission that you told the officer a name other than your legal name. Now, you can go by an alias all you want. You can choose to use the name Garrison Michael, but when a law enforcement officer is asking for your legal identity to investigate a violation of the law, any reasonable person would know to give their legal name. And if you didn't give your legal name, there could only be one reason. Either you're too stupid to give your true name, which I don't find this defendant to be stupid, or the other reason would be that you're trying to keep the officer from knowing who you really are. That one is one that I believe is true, that you did not want the officer to know your given name. He would have found out that you had a suspended license. He would have found out that you had things going on with your driver's license in both Kansas and Missouri, and that gave you a good reason to tell him that you were someone else. I don't doubt that you go by Garrison Michael as your alias, but your legal name is not Garrison Michael, from what the evidence says. And by not giving the officer the name Gary Michael Peloza, it caused him much obstruction, and he had to spend a lot of extra time going through records to find out dates of birth and names that matched and ones that didn't and people that were dead with that name. But eventually he put enough information together, he was able to figure out your real name. And even then you kind of hesitated by admitting that you were Gary Michael Peloza. So I find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of count 1, interference by providing false information. Count 2, possession of marijuana. Frankly, when the state rested, I was prepared to dismiss that case. The law is quite clear that field tests will amount to and be considered as probable cause in preliminary hearings where the burden of proof is probable cause proof. But since we're in trial and we don't have lab reports for proof beyond a reasonable doubt, I thought, well, the state missed that one. But then you testified, Mr. Pelosa, and you admitted every which way you could that that was, in fact, marijuana, that you purchased it legally in Missouri, that you used it to sleep, and that you knew that it was marijuana. So you basically shored that charge up beyond a reasonable doubt. So between the state's evidence and yours, I find you guilty of possession of marijuana in count 2. Count 3, driving while suspended. The certified records made it very clear that your license was suspended. I know you objected to the 2 reports from the state of Missouri claiming they were falsified, but taking the report as a whole, I find your license was suspended on January 21st and that you had a prior conviction for driving while suspended. So I find you guilty of that charge as well. Failure to register your vehicle seems to be the most or the least difficult for me to find you guilty of, because it wasn't registered. Now, I know you gave me a good explanation for why you believe it was registered, but most of it was based on this hearsay of the unavailable declarant, allegedly a trustee of the vehicle. But I'm convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the vehicle was not properly registered. So I find you guilty of all charges, and we'll proceed to sentencing at this time. Mr. Baca, does the state have recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, in regards to count 1, state would recommend a $100 fine, 6 months jail suspended. We would recommend 12 months reporting probation. Also recommend standard conditions of probation, the probation fee, and court costs. In regards to count 2, state would not recommend a fine, would recommend 6 months jail suspended concurrent with count 1. Also 12 months reporting probation with the special condition to obtain a drug and alcohol evaluation and follow all recommendations. In regards to count 3, state would recommend the $100 mandatory minimum fine, recommend 8 months jail suspended, concurrent with all counts, 12 months reporting probation, and Your Honor, the statute is specific that he must serve 5 days in jail since this is a second offense, but I would not have objection to credit for time served on that 5 days, which I think he may have already met.
Okay.
Finally, Your Honor, in regards to count 4, $50 fine, 30 days jail suspended, concurrent with other counts, 12 months reporting probation.
Deputy, if you're still there, do you know how much jail time credit he might have?
I do not.
All right.
I was arrested on the 21st of January.
So you've been in jail since January 21st?
Yes, I have.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Pelosa, if you have anything you want to say about your sentence, I would allow you to do so. If you want to rely on your standby counsel, I would allow you to do so. Or you can remain silent if you wish.
Could I talk to Mr. Patterson for a second?
All right. Mr. Patterson, can you come out of standby mode?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Could you please put them in a brief, Mr. Patterson, breakout room, please, Destiny? All right. We are back on the record in BU 26 CR 25. All parties appearing as before. Mr. Baca said while counsel and defendant were in conversation that he had an announcement. Do you want to make that at this time, Mr. Baca?
Thank you, Your Honor. I just did want to point out, it was pointed out to me by staff that an amended information was filed that did dismiss count 4, the registration. I just wanted to have complete candor with the court that we did prior dismiss that. I believe information was turned into our office.
Interesting. All right. Well, there you go, Mr. Pelosa. By taking this to trial, you just got one count to go away. Failure to register your vehicle has previously been dismissed by the state, and I will make it formally dismissed with prejudice at this time, meaning it cannot be refiled. Was there anything else you wanted to say before I pronounce your sentence, Mr. Pelosa?
No, I'm good.
Okay. On count 1, interference with a law enforcement officer. Your sentence at this time is a $100 fine and 6 months in the Butler County Jail. On count 2, possession of marijuana, no fine, but concurrent 6 months in the county jail. Count 3, driving while suspended after a prior conviction, $100 in fines and 8 months concurrent county jail. There will be no sentence on count 4 as that has been dismissed. Now, all 3 of these counts will run concurrently. The defendant must serve a minimum 5 days mandatory in jail, but that is covered by time served, it looks like. Likewise, the remainder of his terms will be given credit for time served. So it is possible that he has maxed out his sentence. Mr. Baca, I don't know if anyone has put a pencil to that, or Mr. Patterson. But if he's been there since January 21st, there's a chance he's either maxed or pretty close to that 8 months. If he has not maxed out his sentence, he will be granted a 12-month reporting probation, where he will have to see a probation officer and the officer will have to determine if interstate compact will allow a transfer to his home state in Missouri. If you have not maxed your sentence and you go on this 12-month reporting probation, all standard conditions will apply. You will be required to call the probation officer immediately after this hearing at 316-322-4153 and give them all of your contact information, and they'll direct you accordingly. You are to have no alcohol and no illegal drugs, and I don't care if it is legal in Missouri, it's not illegal federally, and you're not to violate any federal laws. And even if it is legal federally, you're not going to possess it as a condition of this probation. And Mr. Baca, is there anything else I need to specifically order here?
Judge, I think the only things I didn't see, the probation fee, court
Yes.
costs, and then the drug and alcohol eval. I was not sure if the court was going to.
Yes, I do want to order the drug and alcohol evaluation and follow it. And as far as amounts, count 1, the fine is $100. No fine on count 2. Count 3, $100. No fine on count 4 because it was dismissed. Now, the KBI, the fact that you didn't get a KBI fee just saved you $400 in lab fees. So that's to your benefit. $158 in court costs. Is it 158, Destiny? It is, isn't it?
It is, Your Honor, for a criminal case.
$60 supervision fee. Now, if you've maxed your sentence out, there won't be that $60, but otherwise there will. I think that comes to about $418. You know how long it might take you to pay that, sir?
$418, probably 6 months.
How about if I give you 4 months, 120 days to start with, and if you need more, we can get it?
Okay.
All right, to pay to the 120 days. And if there's nothing else, then we'll be adjourned, but you must contact probation as soon as this hearing is over at that number I gave you and violate no laws. That's a standard condition, but I'm going to order that as well.
So I have time served on my sentence. I'm confused on the sentence. Okay, time served.
Your concurrent sentence is 8 months, but you're going to get credit for time served. So if you've been in since January 21st of 2026, you're getting pretty close. Oh, I'm doing that math all wrong, aren't I, Mr. Baca?
Yeah, I may be close to 3 of the 8 months.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was thinking that this happened in 25, and then I happened to say, no, that's 26. Sorry to get your hopes up. Credit for time served that'll come off the 8 months. So you will be on probation. Okay. So your credit for time served will come off the mandatory 5 days that you have to serve under the law. It will come off of the 6 months, or I'm sorry, the 8 months. And you will have to go on probation for the remainder of those months. If you violate that probation, then it can be revoked and you can have to serve the remainder of whatever is left after you take your time served off the 8 months.
I see.
Thought you gave me an interesting look, Mr. Baca, when I said you'd maxed it out.
So no worries, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Peloza, you are to go now and call probation at that number I gave you. Do you still have it?
Yes, you got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Patterson, thank you for being standby. Anything
Your Honor,
else? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to clarify. So he's got an 8 month underlying sentence.
All of the charges run concurrently for a total of 8 months maximum. Yes. 8 month sentence, take away the credit for time served.
And he's to be released on 12 months reporting probation.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you getting that, especially the way I botched the way I started. All right, everyone. Anything else?
Committed a crime? Are you in a lawsuit? Not only do you need a good lawyer, you need a good character witness. That's where we come in handy. Within 10 minutes, we'll be on your side, arguing to the very end.
Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Oh, yes, you wanna. I saw the whole thing.
Well, Doc, it all started like this.
Oh, I think the whole accusation is despicable.
Well, Your Honor, we heard this sound, and homie ran to the window, and gosh, he yelled, Marge, get the camcorder. That's kind of how it all started.
When you need a character witness, you need us. Call 1-800-CARTOON today.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and share the video around. And as always, let me know what you think in the comment section. And a very special thank you to every single one of our Facts or Frauds channel members. Your support helps keep this channel going, and I appreciate every one of you. Wanishi, thank you. Well, the court had jurisdiction. The trust didn't stop the case. It did get the registration through. The filings, they didn't stop the case. And the trial didn't end the way Mr. Peloza hoped it would. But before anybody gets too comfortable, Kansas may be done. Missouri, not so much. Reality bites back. Till next time, I'll see you soon.